Hello, everyone. My name is Ana Martha Ayala, and I'd like to welcome you to my YouTube channel. As a reminder, I do every video in English and Spanish, and the degree theory is based on modern Western astrology using the Placidus house system. Now, in today's video, I wanted to talk to Pisces rising or Pisces sun. I wanted to discuss the planetary energies of 2025. I'm not calling this a horoscope because this video doesn't substitute a one-to-one meeting with an astrologer to discuss your personal planetary cycles, but it will give you an overall idea as to what you can expect for 2025. Now, if your sign is in the latter degrees of, if your degree is in the latter part of the sign, then you might want to listen to Aries, so that way you can get, because the houses might not match up. That's what I'm trying to say. So what I did is, for the main video that I did for like the mundane level, which I'm going to link below in case you want to see it. But I created this chart that shows the planetary retrogrades and ingresses and stuff like that. So I'm going to put it in a more personalized method for you. So Neptune is your ruler according to the degree theory. So for you, the retrograde of Neptune is the most important planet because you're ruled, it's your chart ruler. Not to say that the other ones aren't important, but for you, Neptune is the planet that you need to pay most attention to. I also wanted to explain what stationing is. So, for example, Mercury is retrograde or will go retrograde March 15th of 2025 at 9 degrees of Aries, and it will go direct on April 7th, 2025 at 26 degrees of Pisces. So, from our viewpoint here on Earth, we see all the planets are going forward or going direct. Now, when a planet goes retrograde, it looks like it is going to go backwards. In reality, it doesn't, but from our viewpoint, that's the way it looks. Now, before the planet goes retrograde, it stops or it stations. And Mercury in this first retrograde will station in Aries at 9 degrees. And then it will station again. So it will stop and go direct at 26 degrees of Pisces. So for you, this first Mercury retrograde will be very important because it touches your sign. Now, if you have planets plus or minus 3 degrees, if you want to push it, use 5 degrees, but I like to keep the orb tight. Then this Mercury is going to be having communications with it. So you have to look at any planets in Aries, in Libra, which is the opposition, in Cancer or Capricorn. And then any planets in Pisces or Virgo or Gemini and Sag. So that way you cover everything. You cover the conjunction, the opposition, and the squares. So, for example, if you have Venus at Aries at 10 degrees, Mercury is going to be speaking to your natal Venus. So you might get communication from an ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, um, ex-boss, ex-business partner, because Venus rules money and love. Now, Mercury is going to go retrograde July 18th of 2025 at 15 degrees of Leo, and it will go direct August 11th at 4 degrees of Leo. It will turn retrograde again November 9th of 2025 at 6 degrees of Sag, and it will go direct November 29th, 2025 at 20 degrees of Scorpio. So again, you have to look at the opposition and the squares for each of these retrogrades and also look for planets that are close to these degrees. Now, Venus is going to go retrograde March 2nd of 2025 at 10 degrees of Aries, and it will go direct April 13th of 2025 at 24 degrees of Pisces. Now, look at this. Mercury and Venus are going retrograde at the same time. So for you, Pisces, this will definitely be something that you will receive some kind of message, text message, email, some communication in love or money. Mars goes retrograde December 6th of 2024 at 6 degrees of Leo, and it will go direct to February 24th of 2025 at 17 degrees of Cancer. As you all know, Venus and Jupiter are the benefics of the zodiac, and Mars and Saturn are the malefics. So Venus and Jupiter usually bring very good things to you. Mars and Saturn, well, Mars, can be arguments, can be challenges, can be issues that come up. Saturn, there's mostly lessons because Saturn is the great teacher of the zodiac. So with Jupiter going retrograde October 10th, 2024 at 21 degrees of Gemini, and then it goes direct February 24th of 2025 at 11 degrees of Gemini. So when a planet stations, Mercury is just 3 days, 4 days. Venus might be like 5 or 6 days. Mars is maybe a week. In my monthly reports, I'll give you guys the dates of the shadow period. That's basically what it's called. So for Jupiter, it's going to hover maybe a couple of weeks around these degrees, plus or minus. So Jupiter is going to give you extra opportunities, extra blessings, extra goodies, basically. Now, Saturn we'll go retrograde July 13th of 2025 at 10 degrees of Aries, and then it goes direct November 28th, 2025 at 25 degrees of Pisces. So look at this. It's the same degrees pretty much as the Mercury and the Venus retrograde. So be mindful, watch what happens here because there might be a follow-up here during this period, July through November. Now, if it involves an X, take your time. Use Saturn. Use the energy of Saturn because Saturn rules time. Now, Uranus will go retrograde September 2nd of 2024 at 27 degrees of Taurus, and it will go direct January 30th of 2025 at 23 degrees of Taurus. Now, Algol, the demon star, is at 26 degrees of Taurus. So when Uranus conjuncts Algol again, it's going to happen twice. Once when it's going retrograde, and then the third and last time when it goes direct. So March of 2025 is going to be a very difficult month. But if you have planets that are communicating with this Uranus, if it's the moon, be mindful of your family, especially your mother, your grandmother, the females in the family. Just pay careful attention to them, especially if your mom or your parents are older, or if the physical structure of your home needs some repairs. I would do them before this period. Now, if you have Mercury, that's going to be talking to this transiting Uranus, it could be a car accident. So as a remedy, which nothing substitute careful driving, mind you, but as a remedy, you can get a little airplane and put it in your car, a picture of an airplane, and put it in your car. Uranus rules airplanes. If it is Mars aspecting that this Uranus is going to aspect, then it could be an accident or something breaking. If you have Mars in the fourth house, for example, it could be something at home. You could fall at home, trip over, the computer cable, the TV cables, or slip in the bathroom. It could be a fall in the house. If you have Mars in the sixth house, well, it could happen at work. There could be an accident at work. If you have it in the fifth house, then it could be your firstborn or your children. Or you could be playing, your whatever weekend sports, football, softball, baseball, and you can get hurt or fall and break something, an arm, a leg, something like that. God forbid. Now, Neptune. Neptune goes retrograde July 4th of 2025 at 2 degrees of Aries, and then it goes direct December 10th, 2025 at 29 degrees of Pisces. So at 29 degrees, we have a fixed star called Sheet. Next summer, there is danger in the water once again because the hurricanes are going to be full force. There is extra possibilities of big floods, tsunamis, and just even if you go jet skiing, or just skiing in the water, make sure you wear your life vest. Even if you go like just boating, wear your life vest next summer. If you don't do it regularly, do so next summer. Um, because sheet is not a good fixed star, but it's just it brings danger to the water, and it is hovering around 29 degrees of Pisces. So if you are planning a beach vacation or taking a cruise, maybe you should buy the travel insurance just to make sure if there's any interruptions or you are asked to evacuate. Be one of the first ones to go. Don't delay. It's better to be safe than sorry. Now, Pluto is going to retrograde May 4th of 2025 at 3 degrees of Aquarius, and it will turn direct October 14th of 2025 at 1 degrees of Aquarius. So let's talk about how these shifts for 2025, how these planetary energies will affect you, Pisces rising or Pisces sun. Now, Pisces is the most mystical sign of the zodiac. There are two fishes, the good and the bad. It is ruled by Neptune. So, when good, they are Pisces is a very spiritual person, really on a higher level. They meditate, they can be very religious. Pisces usually are healers. They can be very psychic and have awesome intuition. Now, when bad, they can be really bad. They can have addictions, especially to cigarettes, sodas, drugs. Um, they can be involved with the wrong people. They can be involved in criminal activities, unfortunately. Pisces, should always follow their intuition. Don't ignore it because you're ruled by Neptune, and Neptune rules intuition. Now, Neptune is going into your second house. So this means that you can start earning from Neptunian endeavors, spiritual work, photography, yoga, artistic stuff, especially like painting or dancing. Pisces rules ballet, just so you know. Um, the second house rules money, so there may be some deception, lies. Someone can steal from you. Um, and this transit is for the next 14 years. It would not be a good time to lend any money because you won't get it back. You will lose it. Neptune rules losses. So no matter what, don't lend money, or if you're gonna lend money, maybe $10 or $25, something that you are not gonna miss if that person doesn't pay you back. So same thing goes for your assets, possessions, jewelry, expensive items that you value. Be careful who you let into your home, wherever you keep your valuables, because they might be gone. Um, you know, People that are strangers and stuff, be mindful who you let in. Now, Saturn is also ingressing in your second house. So here you're getting a reality check, big time. The transit lasts 2.5 years, so you will define your financial goals. You need to be practical, realistic, frugal with money. When Saturn goes into your second house, one of the remedies is to save money or go on a diet. All right, because it also rules the amount of food that you put into your, what you eat. So, money wise, you need to make a budget and carefully follow it. It's not just putting it on paper and then just leaving it there. No, no, no. You need to follow what you write, what you do. Keep track of your expenses. With this transit, it is not a good idea to change jobs, to get a new job because you won't like the new job. Um, and again, be very mindful with your resources. Just save the money. Don't spend it on dumb stuff. Because Pisces, sometimes they're compulsive buyers. They like to store stuff, but that's a different story. Anyway, Uranus is going to enter in your fourth house, and this is for the next 7 years. So wherever Uranus is, it brings changes with it. So Pisces, you may be moving from where you're at. If you don't want to move, then you will redecorate, remodel. There can also be changes with your parents because there's, the fourth house, right? They can retire all of a sudden, let's just say. Now, with if Uranus aspects your natal moon, be careful with your emotions because they're going to be all over the place. Either way, Pisces is a very like the emotions play a significant role with Pisces. It's just um, you know, that's just the way they are. Now, it if Uranus aspects Mercury, then be careful with car accidents because Uranus is things that happen all of a sudden, and Mercury rules vehicles, especially when you are getting close to your house because Uranus is in the fourth um, house. Now, if Uranus is aspecting your Mars, then it also talks about accidents in the home if Mars is in your fourth house. Now, for good news, Jupiter is entering your fifth house. So this is a great time to socialize, have fun, play amateur sports with your friends. All of these things Jupiter expands. It's an awesome time to meet a potential boyfriend or girlfriend. So Jupiter can also bring you a baby, right? Because Jupiter is a natural ruler of children. So you can get pregnant during this time. If you're looking to have a baby, try when Jupiter goes into your fifth, which is Cancer, then try to practice when the moon is in Taurus or Cancer. Those are the two most fertile moons in the month. And if you're not trying to have a baby, then be careful. It could also be a very fortunate time for your children, especially your firstborn, because the firstborn is the fifth house. Now, the nodes are shifting from Aries and Libra to your sign and Virgo. So the North Node will be in your first house. So eclipses are going to be impacting you. And there's going to be a change in your lifestyle. You will have new energy, optimism, enthusiasm. You'll concentrate on you, your image, your diet, your exercise, your personal appearance, hairstyle, wardrobe, makeup. Um, this can also bring a fated meeting, uh, karmic meeting, because it's the axis of you know, relationships, right? And it could be a karmic relationship in either love or business. Now, karmic isn't always nice. So sometimes there are lessons that we need to learn. Other times it's business that we need to basically finish from a prior lifetime. Or, you might get your fairy tale prince or princess that comes in, and this is the seventh house, right? The first and seventh house. So there could be, um, and hopefully this is your case, that you meet the love of your life, and it is a karmic relationship in the sense that you feel like you've known this person for a lifetime. Like you have a lot of similar interests. You like pretty much everything that they like. You just blend well together. You hardly argue, if any, at all. So I hope that this is what the nodes bring you. Now, seventh house. If you are, the South Node is going to be in the seventh house, and the nodes shift on January 12th of 2025. So if you are in a long-term relationship in love and business, and the relationship is not going well, then you may decide to get divorced. You leave behind being so critical about yourself, about your partner, about people. Nobody is perfect. My definition of perfect is different than your definition of perfect. So perfection is only an ideal. So keep that in mind. If your relationship, long-term relationship isn't working, then it might come to an end. Now, Pluto is going into your 12th house. This one is big. So you can go on a mission to transform deep-seated fears, transform phobias, seek a therapist, um, work on your subconscious or mental illness as well. Careful with any self-destructive tendencies or limiting thoughts, second guessing yourself if Pluto is badly aspected. Because there's always Pluto is going to transform, right? But you have to go through the deep, dark stuff to then come up and rise like a phoenix. So, Pisces, this is my planetary energies for you. I wish you many blessings, all the best to you for 2025 and always. If you have found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and send it to somebody that it may also help. As always, if you would like a natal chart reading with me, please send me an email to amaastrology@aol.com. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.